S minus 5, right, is equal to 500. Whoops, not quite. Plus 15S is equal to 500. Okay? So that's one equation, right? But the other equation, okay, and that's why we're going to do kind of two. This is step 1. This is step 2, okay? And step 1 for part 2. And part 2 is in the green. So we're going to say, hey, 20, right, F, but in this case, F is F, right? So 20 F, right, plus 15 S, and in this case, S is 5 plus F, right? Or F plus 5, okay? So now we have it in terms of F. And the reason why I'm doing this is I can solve for S and F simultaneously at the same time, meaning, right? Okay? And that should equal how much? 500. Now, what lets me do that? Because substitution. I was given the information. I created the systems of equations. Right? And from the systems of equations, I didn't do linear combination, right? I did substitution. Okay? So that would be given to systems to substitution. Okay? Alright? Alright, step 2. What is step 2? Well, we got to distribute, right? Everybody on the block gets the paper, right? What's 20 times S? What's 20 times negative 5? Does that make sense? But over here, we're not doing distributing 20, we're distributing a positive 15, right? If this were minus, we would distribute the minus 15, but it's positive. So a positive 15 to both of these. So that would be plus 15F plus 5 times 15 is 35? No. 70? What did I get? 550 plus 25, 75? Alright. And 500. Okay. Now what did I do? What's that called? Everybody on the block gets the paper. What's that called? Clamshell, right? Everybody knows what you mean by clamshell, right? Clamshell. Nobody knows what you mean. So we got to use what they know. What they know, not what we know. We know it as clamshell. We know it as everybody on the block gets a paper. But we can't use that. We have to use what they know when you're distributing.
What do they know?
I just said it.
Oh.
Distribution. Right? Distribution. Okay?
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm used to you not listening.
Hey.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. That was bad. Let me step back. All right. Next. Blue, right? Let's go blue. So step 3. What is step 3?
Solve.
Yeah. And how do we solve? Collect some like terms, right? Get the S's together. Or get the F's together. Get the F together. B, like leave it to beaver, not like what you were thinking. So, leave it to beaver. B, leave it to B. Oh goodness. I'm so old. Okay, so what are we doing? What's 20 plus 15?
That 35.
No way.
Okay, what's 20 plus 15?
40.
It's kind of weird that it ends up being 35 for both of these. I almost thought I was wrong earlier, because that's normally not the way it happens. But in this case, it just works out this way. Okay, next. So what was that step, by the way?
That was addition.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, I guessed it.
kind of. So, adding what? Like terms, right? That's what we call it in algebra. In geometry, we call this simplification. So it could be simplified. Okay, but in algebra, you would say add like terms. Okay? So it's really up to you. Okay? Alright, your next step. Can you add any more like terms? So you start moving things, right? You move the 100. So how do you move the 100? It's always the opposite, right? So for a lot of you, you call this sad math. Right? Or some of you. I should say. Some of you call this sad math. Whereas subtraction, addition first when you solve, right? In my geometry class, we call it, well, addition property of equality. But over here, we'd have to call it subtraction property of equality. But for you guys, you actually call it sad math. Although some of you don't know that term. It's PMDOS in reverse.
Oh!
Yeah, remember that? Okay. And we're doing the subtraction addition. Remember, always the opposite. OPP. How can I explain it? Take it, frame it. Oh, for other P is for people scratching temple like me. Because these people, they ain't that simple. Okay. I'm here all week. Don't worry. Okay. So, minus, no, plus. Right? Plus gets rid of that 100. So I get 35s is equal to 600. That's step 4. But over here, it's minus, right? Because we always have to do the opposite. Minus 75 equals minus 75. So I get 35f equals 425. Right? Okay. Then what? Step 5. Well, in our thing, dm comes next, right? It's still stat math, but it's dm. Right? You're dividing or multiplying. Always the opposite. OPP, right? But in geometry, we call it division. Oops, that's plus. Division property of equality. Because we're doing it to both sides of the equal sign, we're dividing by 35. We're dividing by 35, right? Then we have to divide by 35 and divide by 35. So we get S is equal to, and F is equal to. And this is step 5.
No way.
Right? Step 5 gives us S is equal to, well, 60 divided by 30 or 35, which is what? 17 and a 7. You didn't see that?
What?